Hi, I'm Kata, and welcome to Torn City News. Over the weekend, the Torn staff decided to play some jokes on its Torn citizens. Because of April Fool's Day, different jokes were put on the site, like when you went to go click on something, it would spin around like crazy. This temporary change outraged Torn's resident alcoholics, who, while drunk or hungover, were extremely nauseous and got headaches from this change. But the real problem started April 2nd when Ched confirmed that the Russians had attacked Torn City. Resident Globalite Samurai was quite surprised when he called Ched full of shit and Ched magically appeared. Ched took a moment to address the rumor that there wasn't actually an attack on Torn City and that it was actually just one big Torn staff conspiracy. Even though it has since been confirmed that it was in fact an attack, some still feel like the problems were caused by something other than Russian interference. One theory is that the radical Bring Back the Dogs group was behind the site's issues, and another theory was that a large mammal sat on the server. Alas, these are just conspiracy theories, because Ched did pop into Global to confirm that the Russians were behind the attack. Definitely 99% sure that it was the Russians. There you have it. No conspiracy. Ched confirmed. Ched recently announced that new players will have their own chats and their own forums until they reach level 13. I know a lot of people were pretty upset about this, wondering where they were going to get where the new players were going to get information such as like how to get $1 million in global, like how to ask people to send them a PI, how to find a spouse, all that kind of fun stuff. But most people, I think, are pretty excited that the new like 0 day, 1 day multis that were in global are not going to be there anymore. For example, the one that always comes in and spams like crazy that has like Chedburn 1, Chedburn 2, Chedburn's mama, all that fun stuff. I don't think we're going to miss him, honestly. But one thing I am kind of sad about is that I use Global to find people for my bounty service, so that kind of stinks that I'm not going to have that like cheap labor that I had before. But what can you do? Sometimes you have to give up certain things to not have Chedburn 1, 2, 3, 4 spamming crazy things in the Global. Another thing that Ched announced over the weekend is that there was an update to the forums, which seems to be going pretty well. It looks like pretty much staff can highlight things and you'll jump to like right where you stopped reading in the forums, which seems like all helpful things to me. Other than that, we have started the egg hunt, which is really exciting. And if you have any old eggs that you don't want, feel free to send them my way. I will take them along with kitten plushies. Love kitten plushies. So just keep that in mind. If they're cluttering up your items, you can just send them on to me. With the egg hunt, seems like people are around 3 to 4 eggs so far. I did find that it's kind of annoying that some people have them in their profiles, it was annoying but kind of amusing. I did get rickrolled once today as well, which was kind of fun. So, egg hunt, forums, new player chat, that's pretty much the update on those. The Bandhammer has been working extra hard this week, bringing us some surprising and some not surprising bans. One shocker was Champion being banned from the forums by Ched himself. This move by Ched was especially amusing considering his affinity towards all things drama, but the general consensus is that Champ just caught him at the wrong time, considering the servers were down over the weekend. Even though Champion is strongly disliked by many, most of us can agree that Champion has given the forums a little boost and caused us to read it a little bit more. As of today, Champion still has 86 more days to go in his ban, so I encourage our listeners to start a hashtag #FreeChamp movement in an effort to get his sentence shortened so we can once again bask in Champion's karma whoring glory. If you would like to join the hashtag #FreeChamp movement, please visit my profile for official campaign graphics. I might even make t-shirts. We'll see. Since the ban, forum posters have expressed concern about Champion's well-being, since we all know he doesn't have a life outside the forums. They've even gone as far to say that he might actually start playing Torn. We'll see as these developments continue. One not-so-surprising ban was Pimpstress Trish, who was banned for her drunken ranting in Global over the weekend. Just so we're clear, I did not contribute to the ban this time, And we do have a quote from Pimpster Trish herself. She said, "Chat banned for saying what everyone else is thinking, but too pussy to say themselves. Sorry, not sorry." I do have to say that I fully support Trish getting unbanned from chats. Global will be boring without her drunkenness every weekend. But we can only hope that during the ban, she goes to the forums to tell us exactly what she thinks and what everybody else is too pussy to say. Another not surprising ban is Sin. I'm not sure what he did or why he was banned. I just heard that he was, so I figured I'd mention it. The next one is not really a whole lot of surprising. After starting a campaign to hashtag free Trish and hashtag Fed Cata, Chibs found himself in Fed, which was totally not related. The rumor is that he posted something he shouldn't have in the forums, and it resulted in a 30-day ban. And finally, the ban hammer has come down on yours truly. Yes, I have been chat banned. Well, I had been chat banned. Was I cussing someone out? Was I causing Global to be above PG-13? No, I was talking in all caps because I drank a bottle of wine and I thought it was amusing. The staff didn't find it nearly as amusing as I did, which resulted in a 3-day chat ban, which thankfully I'm off today as of this morning. I definitely learned my lesson, and hopefully I won't ever experience such horrors on Torn again as not being able to go into Global or PM anybody. There you have it. That was this week's ban report. Category of spam. I have a special announcement from our Torn citizen, Fluffy. He wanted everyone to know that being attacked is not against the rules. He's had more than 12 people reporting him daily for spamming, and it's Torn. Fluffy would like players to know that being attacked and bountied is the way Torn is. It's not Club Penguin, and Fluffy still loves you, but please grow a pair. I know I said more to come on the fight between a JFA member and some other guy, but it turns out nobody really cares, so that's all the info that I'm going to say on that. The spring newsletter has come out, and we sent out some very interesting updates were sent out. Most of you have probably already heard about the new types of warring and chaining 2.0, but here's a short summary. With chaining 2.0, it seems that you can attack anybody during a chain instead of just people that are in a faction you're warring with. Like, the person doesn't even have to be in a faction at all. The respect gained will vary depending on the level and attack type still. The thing that stood out for me, though, was that there is now a chain cooldown, which it looks like you have to count back down to 0 from whatever amount the chain reached, and I believe that you get -1 every 10 seconds. In the forum summary, it said that you can still attack during the chaining cooldown, but the respect is just multiplied by wherever you left off, I guess, or wherever the chain cooldown is on. I'm not really sure. It wasn't a whole lot of clear. Not really sure how that works. I'm interested to see how the competitive warring works out that they mentioned in the newsletter. It drives me nuts that my little faction is always being bullied by like big factions like Hold Your Fire or different factions like that when they're able to declare on us and basically beat the shit out of us. I mean, we're ranked like 1800 and they're ranked like 90. So do we really need another faction or factions declaring on another faction that is like 1700 ranks below them? The lower faction just ends up being a punching bag for the higher faction, which ends up being pretty cruddy in my opinion. I am really excited about the destructive warring, but I'm wondering, and I think this is pretty much answered in the forums, can a much higher faction declare on a much lower faction? This could potentially be really not a good thing, and it kind of counteracts the goodness that the competitive warring would bring. So if that happens, I'm wondering if maybe like a little faction would be able to be destroyed pretty easily. I know some people were saying that, well, they can have a certain amount of territories and stuff like that. Like if they have 5 territories, then it'd be really hard. But like our faction, we only have 2 territories because we were way low, and so it's kind of a struggle for us to get more than that. Another update is the option to loot more characters. New weapons have been announced that can be looted, but since I don't know anything about weapons or guns in real life or in Torn, really, I'm not going to try to pronounce what half of them are. One is pink, though, which I really like because I really like pink. Um, so if anybody can get me that pink gun, it would be very appreciated because I would really like a pink gun, even though I don't know anything about guns. Finally, they announced an update to the name changing system where it's going to be automated and it'll cost points instead of money to change your name. One interesting thing about this update is that you will only be able to change your name every 3 months, which will hopefully cut down on people stealing names and also changing them to trick people. Dynamo. That's pretty much all we have for this week's Torn news. If you have anything you would like to suggest, please visit my profile and fill out the form. We can definitely use people doing some writing for the news stories and helping out for sure. So go over there and fill out the form. Let me know if you're interested in helping out at all. And stay classy, Torn.